Brock?
What do you want, kid?
I want to talk to you.
Go ahead.
About Pearl Madison.
Beat it.
Hey, wait a minute, Mr. Brock. I know what happened this afternoon between you and Mr. Madison.
Well, if he wants to keep walking around, he'll stay away from me.
Maybe. If I was you, I'd get out of Porter.
Well, you're not me.
No, sir. I'm glad of it. The way I hear things, you're in town tomorrow morning. It'll be for a burial.
Trackdown, starring Robert Culp. Brought to you by Lucky Strike. Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike. A job well done can be even more satisfying when it's followed by a good cigarette. Lucky Strike. Here's the honest taste of fine tobacco.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like, the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Mike, let's see what's going on. Oh, Mike.
A single shot had been heard by Mike Kilroy, the night manager of the hotel. He sent for Dr. J. Calhoun and Ranger Hobie Gilman in that order. There wasn't much need for the doctor. Manny Brock was dead.
The bullet ended just above the heart. He didn't feel the floor when he hit it. Who was he, Mike?
I figured you'd ask that. His name was Emmanuel Brock.
B-R-O-C-K?
That's right, out of St. Louis. At least that's the way he registered.
Staying here long?
3 days, this time.
What do you know about him, Mike?
Well, you know, drummer, a little loud, maybe on the pushy side. But I guess he was all right.
What time did you hear the shot?
Well, it was about 10, maybe 15 minutes ago.
You making about 10:20?
Yeah, about that.
Where were you?
Downstairs in the lobby.
See anybody? Well, Mike?
I was asleep.
You wake up right away?
I think so.
Did you see anybody when you went upstairs?
They could have gone out the back, though. Probably did.
Yeah, probably. Well, there's nothing there. Did you go through his pockets?
Well, I didn't figure that was my place.
Did he ever have anybody up here in his rooms?
Couple. Old Mr. Haskins from the general store. Placed an order, I think.
Handkerchief, and comb, and a pocket knife, and sen, and 62 cents change.
I didn't get to know him well, Hobie. When he'd come in, he was alone. He'd leave his call and go to bed.
Uh-huh. Here's his order book. Well, one thing's sure. The motive wasn't robbery. Mr. Wilson, may I speak to you for a moment?
room was locked, and the personal effects of the dead man were taken to the sheriff's office to be placed in the vault. A check was made of the other tenants in the hotel, but apparently none of them had reason for causing the death of Emmanuel Brock. The following morning, Ranger Hobie Gilman talked with the owner of the general store.
Good morning, Miss Jarvis.
Morning, Hobie. Something?
Yeah, I want to talk to you about a man called Brock.
Drummer?
Yeah, what do you know about him?
Well, nice enough fellow. Handles a good line. Some is a little hard to sell, like ruffles on a gun belt. Fancy, you know?
Yeah. No, thanks.
Something wrong?
You know anybody want to kill him?
You mean he's dead?
Yeah.
Why? Just yesterday he was in here, big as life, trying to sell me a new kind of knife sharpener. Now he's dead. Any idea who did it?
I thought maybe you could tell me. Near as I can figure, you were pretty close to him.
A couple of orders, yeah. Drink now and then, but that's all. I had no reason to kill him.
Well, somebody did.
I told him more than once, don't flash the money. He used to stand over to Tenner's place and buy drinks, showing off that fat wallet of his.
Well, he wasn't robbed. The motive had to be jealousy or revenge or something like that. You spend much time over at Tenner's place?
Oh, you know, a few. But he wasn't a drunk. Not at all.
What about women? All right, what is it? Oh, come on, Mr. Haskins. You know I'm going to find out about it anyway.
Well, I don't like to go telling tales. After all, he's a friend.
Who?
Adam Madsen.
Fellow moving in the Kelly place?
Same. Can't say I blame him myself. You know how these traveling men are with girls. Got one in every town.
Well, what's that got to do with Adam Madsen?
Well, his daughter, Pearl. Brock was moving in fast on her.
Well, you know, Mr. Haskins, she's got a pretty good reputation for it.
A little wild, Hobie. That's all.
Well, maybe. What's going on between her and Brock?
Word was that Pearl was going away with him when he left town.
And Adam didn't like the idea.
Not at all. Told Brock, too. Told him loud.
Was it an argument?
More than that. I call it just about a fight. Adam come close to clumping him.
I didn't hear about this.
Well, it wasn't important enough to pass on.
Well, when did it happen?
Yesterday. Yesterday morning. Of course, they both cooled down. Nothing really come of it.
What do you mean, really?
Well, I'm sure Adam didn't mean it, Hobie.
What'd he say?
That if he ever caught him near the girl again, he'd tear Brock's heart out with his bare hands.
Thanks.
Adam Madsen had been in Porter a little under 6 months. A widower, he lived alone with his 20-year-old daughter, Pearl. Hobie had met the man on a few occasions, but had not formed an opinion of him. To the town, Adam was a hard-working farmer who paid his bills on time and kept a sharp eye on his daughter.
Yeah?
Mr. Madsen?
Oh, Mr. Gilman, come on in.
Sure.
We're just having some lunch. Like to sit with us?
Thank you.
This is Jerry Kelso. He's been giving me a hand with my chores. Hobie Gilman, Texas Ranger.
I don't know you.
Mr. Gilman?
You know my daughter, Pearl?
Yeah, hello, Pearl.
Sit down, Mr. Gilman. Like a cup of coffee?
Yeah, thanks. Fine.
Pearl, bring in a cup for the Ranger, will you?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Gilman, what brings you out here at this time of day?
I understand you, know Manny Brock.
What's the matter?
Nothing, Pa.
Then what are you laughing at?
Nothing, Pa. Nothing at all.
Now, what was this about Brock? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Pa. Excuse me, Mr. Gilman. Jerry. Pa.
You'll have to forgive her, Mr. Gilman. She hasn't been feeling too good lately.
Yeah. Well, how about it? Brock, you do know him.
Yeah, I don't like him, though.
Neither do I.
The only difference is I let him know how I feel.
I'll tell him.
When? After he walks off with your woman?
Now, don't pull at me, Adam. Don't you do that.
All decided. Him and Pearlie go and tie the knot. And then what happens? He has some polished-up drummer come in and walk off with his woman. What kind of man do you call that, huh?
I wouldn't stand for much more of this, Adam.
Afraid of him. That's what you are, afraid of a drummer.
When did you see Brock last?
Yesterday.
Did you have trouble with him?
Who have you been talking to?
Come on, Adam. Did you have trouble with Brock?
Well, why don't you just ask the one who's been spreading the gossip?
I'm asking you.
We had trouble.
Why?
He wouldn't let my Pearlie alone.
Well, that's the last time you saw him?
Yeah. What's this all about, anyway?
Where were you last night?
I don't think I'm going to talk to you until you tell me what this is all about.
Manny Brock was shot to death last night.
Well, good for him.
Yes, indeed.
Who did it?
I thought maybe you could tell me.
You think I did it? By George, that's a good one. Now, mind, I would have done it, you bet. He'd come near to Pearlie just one more time, and I sure would have done it. But I didn't.
Where were you last night?
Do you mean it?
I wouldn't ask if I didn't.
I was here.
All night?
Ever since I came out of the fields.
You didn't go out of the house?
No, sir.
Anybody here with you?
That's all. Get out.
Oh, come on, Adam, don't push.
I'll do a sight more than that if you're not out of this house in 1 second flat.
I think you better come down to my office with me. A lot of questions to ask you, and it'll be easier down there.
I don't think you should have done that, Mr. Gilman. You see, I'm not sure, but I think I killed Manny Brock.
You can be awfully busy and still have time for a cigarette. A lot of men like this one. Like this one. Lucky Strike. It's the genuine article. Outdoors you can taste it. When you smoke Lucky Strike. The honest taste of fine tobacco. That's what you get with Lucky Strike. Smoke one and see.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Hobie Gilman took the three people back into town. Although he had a confession to Manny Brock's killing, in the ranger's mind there was something wrong, something that didn't fit.
How long do you figure to keep us here?
Till I get the truth.
Well, I tell you this. My little girl isn't talking to you or anybody till we get a lawyer.
Well, that's your privilege. Pearl? Why do you think you killed Manny Brock? Ralph, you want to run over and see if you can find Doc Calhoun?
Sure thing, Mr. Gilman. What do you want a doctor for?
I want to find out what's wrong with her.
There isn't anything wrong with her. I told you, she's just feeling poorly. No doctor's gonna look at my girl without I say so.
That's right, Adam. Don't let him.
Now, you shut up. You've done your duty, none of this would have happened.
I want to talk to you alone. Sit down over there. Adam, I want you to tell me something. And I want the truth. What happens to Pearl depends on what you tell me. Has anybody in your family ever... has there ever been any insanity in your family?
I resent that.
There's something wrong with your girl now, Adam. It'll be a whole lot better if she talks to me now than to have the whole thing brought out in a court of law.
You don't have anything to take her to court on.
Yeah, well, she made a confession.
She didn't write anything.
Jerry'd have to testify.
Not if he wants to keep breathing.
I'm getting kind of sick of this, Adam. I guarantee you. If you don't take the easy way, I'll throw your daughter in jail, and I'll put you right next door as an accomplice.
You don't know your law.
You don't know me. Now, how about it?
She'll talk.
Don't you worry, honey. Everything's gonna be all right. You see.
Burley, I want you to talk to him.
What do you want to know?
Did you kill him?
I think so.
But you're not sure. Why not?
Well, I don't actually remember doing it, that's all.
Then why do you think you did it?
I just think I did, that's all.
She couldn't have.
What do you know about it?
Because last night she was with me.
I didn't know that.
We were just walking, that's all.
When?
About 10 o'clock.
How long were you together?
Till about 11. Maybe longer.
You do that again without telling me, and I'll take the skin off your back.
Oh, Adam, quit it. What'd you kill him with?
A gun?
What kind of gun?
Why don't you leave her alone?
Will you be quiet? What kind of gun, Pearl?
A little one.
Where'd you get it?
I don't remember.
Was it your father's? Was it Manny Brock's, maybe?
Hello, Obi. What's up?
I want you to take a look at this girl, Doc.
What's wrong?
You tell me.
Obi, can I use the back room for a minute?
Yeah.
Don't!
What's the matter?
I killed Manny. No matter what she tells you, I did it.
Okay, I'm gonna write a book about this one. All right, tell me about it.
I didn't like you.
Did you really do it? Then you keep your mouth shut. I'll get the best lawyer I can, but you just keep quiet.
You want to stay out of it now?
Don't you tell me.
Ralph, you want to put him in the back, please?
In the back?
Yeah. Excuse me. Now, you want to sit down over there? All right, you want to tell me about it now?
It was last night. I didn't think she'd really do it. Now, that's the truth. I've done it with other people and it never worked. I didn't figure she'd be any different.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hypnotized her.
You did what to her?
Hypnotized her. Made her kill Manny Brock.
When was this?
It was last night. We went walking, like I said. She was crying, carrying on, crying.
Why?
Well, because he wouldn't take her with him when he left town.
Yeah?
She said she'd like to kill him, but she guessed she didn't have the nerve.
And that's when you hypnotized her?
See, I love her. I really do. I didn't believe she was really out. I mean, I've done it with other people, and they said they were hypnotized just to make me feel good, but I knew they weren't.
Can it be done?
Yes. I've never seen it, but there's a man in Europe named Mesmer who's had quite a bit of success with it in a medical way.
I told her to go to his room and shoot him. I gave her the gun. But all the time I was telling her, every minute, you gotta believe me, I didn't believe she'd really do it. I didn't think she'd kill Manny.
Sure anything to do with that? With the laughing every time she hears his name?
I figured the best way to get her away from him was if she thought he was funny. The books call it post-hypnotic suggestion. When somebody's hypnotized, you tell them to do something later on, and when they snap out of the hypnosis, they do it. They don't know why, they just do it.
Well, can you make her stop laughing?
Now, hold on a minute, Obie. I'd like to consult another doctor before he tries this again. Where'd you learn to do this?
In the book, I saw the advertisement and I sent away for it. But I didn't think it would really work. I honestly didn't. That's the God's truth. What can they do to me?
I don't know.
Sure got in a mess, didn't I? I couldn't let her go away with him. I just couldn't. But it's funny. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry he's dead.
Well, son, there's one thing you better hope and hope for it good.
What?
That you can hypnotize a jury.
Pardon me. I see you smoke Lucky's. Yes, I do. A genuine cigarette. Sure is. Fine tobacco from end to end. A wonderful smoke, a Lucky Strike. Honest taste. Gee, I'd like a Lucky right now, and I don't blame you. It's the best tasting cigarette I ever smoked. So long. Well, looks like I'll have to smoke my own.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
You know, when you pay good money for a cigarette, get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
2 months went by before the legal and medical problems could be straightened out. Jerry Kelso was held to answer a charge of manslaughter. After a hearing, Pearl Madsen was placed on probation for a period of 3 years. It was over.
Well, that's that.
All through?
Good morning, Hobie. Well,
Morning, Doc.
looks like we got some cold weather coming. You still working on that thing?
Just finished. You see the girl?
Yeah, yesterday. See, you get along fine.
You know, it beats me how a thing like that could happen. You know, you see it in stories, but it just never seems like it could really happen.
Well, since this came up, I've been doing some reading. It seems like no one can be hypnotized against their will. And furthermore, they can't be made to do anything that they wouldn't like to do consciously.
You mean that Pearl would have really killed Manny Brock?
Well, I don't know, but in her subconscious, she was willing to. Oh, here, Hobie, I thought this might interest you.
Well, Doc, I'm afraid there's only one way hypnotism's gonna do me any good.
What's that?
To make somebody believe this all happened. Well, next week, another Trackdown story. I hope you'll see it. And when you buy your next carton of cigarettes, get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Trackdown was brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company. Remember, tobacco is our middle name. And here's a word for filter tip smokers.
Dual, 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 dual. The new word in cigarette news, dual filter Tareyton, a new experience in smoking. Tareyton's dual filter provides the efficient filtering action of cellulose acetate in a pure white outer filter, plus the remarkable filtering properties of activated charcoal in an exclusive inner filter to give you the real thing in mildness and fine tobacco taste. Remember, the Tareyton ring marks the real thing, dual filter Tareyton.